But, of course, there's only one place to start, and that's with your side. Benty, that's Arsenal. We can hear from the former Premier League midfielder Danny Murphy now. He was alongside Adrian Durham on FA Cup game day last night. He discussed Eddie Nketiah and said Arsenal don't need to sign a new striker in this window.
Every time I watch him play, he gets chances. And he's a goal scorer. Now, the argument with him about, his link-up, and does he understand how to play the position, or is he just a poacher? Well, I've watched his 4 games since he's come in, since they've been back, and his link-up's been really good. Awareness of others around him. He's strong. He's a strong boy. So it's been brilliant for him. Great for the manager that he's come in and taken his chance and been ready mentally and physically to take that chance. We talked about that earlier. The question he's got now is, does he go and get a forward? I personally wouldn't be going to buy a striker unless you had the perfect one you really wanted.
That was Danny Murphy, of course, alongside Adrian Durham for last night's FA Cup game day. Just quickly, we'll talk about Eddie Nketiah in maybe 15 seconds, but what did you make of Arsenal's performance last night?
First half, I was thinking, come on. I didn't think they'd ever lose, but I'd rather them have got the job done earlier, because it was dragged on, they got to the second half and then they get the goal. But first half, I thought they were just too slow. That they were keeping possession, but Oxford were getting back into shape really quickly, and it was almost just like a bit of a possession game. But second half, once they went 1 up, there was only going to be one winner. I never at any stage thought they were going to lose.
I agree.
Good result.
You needed that first goal, and then I wouldn't say floodgates home, but you look very comfortable. Eddie Nketiah was on the score sheet, of course. I thought his second goal, slightly offside, but irrelevant of that. The little, what would you call it?
A little dink.
A dink.
A little half dink.
I mean, that takes guts. Not guts, but to have the confidence to be able to do that.
Do you know what? It's not even the confidence, but because he's a natural goal scorer, Eddie Nketiah, these things will just pop up. Like, the ball will come to him and he'll just, whatever way he's got to finish it off, any body part, he'll do that. And again, good performance from him. He's, as Danny Murphy was saying there on that little clip we heard, incredibly strong. But I've seen it for a while that he's strong and he's quick. Yeah. Like, he is powerful. Do you know what I mean? But can he put it all together on a consistent basis? Now, his argument, and I fully understand it because I've been there, his argument would always be, well, no, people can't tell me I can't step up consistently because I've never been given a consistent run in the team.
That's right.
So that's his argument. So right now, what he is doing by scoring goals, and some people will say, yeah, it's only Oxford. If he hadn't scored, people would have gone and see, can't score against Oxford. So you're best off putting the ball in the back of the net and letting people ask questions afterwards.
23 games for Arsenal. He started 11. He's been on the bench for 12. He scored 7. That's joint with Saka for this season as well. Before he went on this run, right, we knew he was a good player, okay, but when Jesus got injured, you as an Arsenal fan looking at the top of the Premier League thinking, oh, we might have to sign someone big. Has your view changed now as to whether or not you need to not replace him but spend a lot of money while he's out injured?
I still think you need options, because you think about it now, as you said there, you've only got Martinelli, Saka and Eddie. Now that I know they're trying to bring the guy from Shakhtar, and there are other options, but when you look at a level of quality, I would still like to see Arsenal invest in that front line and try and bring someone in. I would have liked João Felix, even though the loan price is crazy. I think when you're not even close.
João Felix is not that number 9, is he?
He's not, but he's another good player that can play in that front line. Like, he's got great quality.
Yeah.
But now, looking at what Eddie's done, and we saw glimpses last season. If you can remember the back end of last season, the last 7 games, he scored 5 goals. He had the 2 against Chelsea where he was brilliant, 2 against Leeds, and 1 against Everton. The performance against Chelsea was the one I went, oh, wow, like, okay, maybe he's ready. And again, he's been given opportunities this season. He scored a fair few goals in this little run that he's on now. I think he's got 4 in his last 5. So I think the rush maybe isn't as imminent as it was. I think when Gabriel Jesus got injured, people were like, panic stations.
Yeah.
Wow, what are we going to do? Arsenal going to fall off. But he's just gone, hold on a second. And fair play to Arteta as well, by the way, because he's gone,
Having
you know what?
Confidence in him. Yeah.
You're my number 9.
He is England's under-21's highest scorer of all time as well.
Yeah.
So Gareth knows all about him. Do you think he has a chance of being called up into the next squad?
I still think there's a few ahead of him. But I think where it kind of sways in his favour...
Name the few. You're thinking obviously Kane.
So Kane's obvious. Wilson. And I think... Ivan Toney.
Okay.
Pending what happens with him off the field.
Yeah.
But in terms of his form, Ivan Toney, he's been sensational this season. He's been brilliant. But where Eddie's got maybe something in his favour is that he's been in the system before. And Gareth likes these kind of kids that have come through the system, have been on international football before, representing England at some stage in the youth system. So that's on his side. But if he keeps smashing goals in the Premier League and Arsenal maintain where they are, Gareth won't ignore him for long.
Okay. Last question, because I know so many Arsenal fans want to have their say. If the North London derby this weekend was a situation where both he and Jesus were fit, on the back of what you've seen?
As Jesus just come back?
Just coming back.
Oh, Eddie has to start.
You start with Eddie.
100%.
Okay, but when Jesus is fully fit, Eddie's on the bench.
No, it depends. Because if Eddie keeps scoring goals and Arsenal maintain where they are, then Gabriel Jesus is going to have to get himself back into the team.
You can't play the two of them, can you? Because that upsets the front three.
Yeah, and you have to drop someone. Who'd you drop? Martinelli or Saka? Absolutely not.
You can't. Okay.
Talk Sport Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the Talk Sport app and on your smart speaker. Talk Sport.